Good evening, Synergy ladies. I hope you are doing well. It's a lovely day in Scotland. I'm sure whole of the UK. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, the weather is lovely today.
Yes, yes.
Good evening, everyone.
I took my dress out of the wardrobe and I thought this wear it because it's so. I mean, the summer we haven't got much summer this year. I hope you get a lot in July and August. That'll be good. Catch up in Scotland at least and get our summer clothes on and get a lot of vitamin D. Yeah.
Hopefully, it won't be a rainy summer.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. No, it's not going to be a rainy summer. We can have a little bit of rain, but a lot of sunshine. That's what I'm projecting it. I'm putting it out there. Let's all put that out there. Whoever is watching, let's put out the sunshine in Scotland. We need to have more sunshine. Get out there. It's so nice. And the kids' holidays are starting next week. So, and I'm sure you mothers and everybody, parents would love to get the children out and about and rather than staying at home. What do you think, Anelika and Fran, with
Oh
your children?
yeah, we don't want rainy summer. I was laughing because on Monday I was out at the city center and this sweet old lady was coming out and everybody she was just saying, "Oh, have you seen the weather? Have you seen it was raining?" And she said, "Oh, I'm just sick looking at it." And it was just this sweet old lady. I was like, "Oh, poor." It was so funny. And she was going with her Zima frame. I was like, have you seen the weather?
Today we talk about the rise of cost of living, and I think most people out there are feeling this, and it's affecting a lot of people. The cost of living's going up, and now we're going to talk about how can you manage this. What can you do to help, especially through this difficult time a lot of people are going through. Now, Anelika, I know before we start, we talked about cost of living. So what's your definition of cost of living?
Oh, I'll define, I'll say is the cost of living will be the cost of having to pay for our bills, our expenses, everything from just even the food we eat to petrol for the car or our heating, our gas, everything that we have to spend, like we expenditures. Yeah. So
Expenditures.
expend, yeah, that will be our cost of living. So it's going high.
I like
But
the high.
guess what is not going high? The salary. How they want us to cope.
Like, well, I really think, yeah, cost of living is, I kind of used to a certain style of living, and we know how much is going out and coming in, and we kind of budget it around everything. And when that is out of whack, and when things go crazy in price, then you kind of don't know, what to pay, what to not, and things like that. So that's as you kind of mentioned, is what's going out. What's your thought, Fran, on that?
Cost of living is what it takes you to maintain the standard of living you desire for yourself, for your family, for your friends, and for the whole entire world. So, individually, what it takes us to maintain the standard we want is our cost of living because each and every one of us have a particular type of desire that we desire to live.
Yeah, we desire different. Our lifestyles, everyone's different. There's some just want to go get by every day, feed the family, and pay the bills, and there's others that want to do more than that with the money saved and go on holiday and so on and so on. So everyone's got their own living, and they kind of work around that. Now we're going to talk about, obviously, we'll talk about the factors that are driving the cost of living. So one of the things that we are aware of at the present moment now, I want to mention a couple of them, ladies, you can mention the other ones. I think we discussed this, is the cost of fuel, rising fuel. Now, before going from A to B, I mean, it costs certain amount of money. And then, like, for example, I mean, I went to Birmingham last week or so, a week after that. I mean, it would have cost me like £80, whatever, to come back in my car, go there, come back. And now it was costing me like 110, 20. So it's gone up. So I have to factor those amount in there. And so fuel prices have gone up crazy. And I want to also say to people who are maybe watching about the fuel, and I kind of shared it with you ladies, that obviously the government takes nearly 50%, 47% or something in taxes in the fuel, and the BP and Shell, they take a huge profit, and the Shell garages only make 3 pence per litre. Now, this can be changed, and because if the government reduced the taxes and the BP and all that went greedy, if they reduce their profit, then we won't have the rise in fuel. It would help so many people. So the rise of fuel itself is not due to any other foreign country. It's due to the government, because they're taking huge taxes, and the big Shell and BP and the oil companies are taking huge profits, and that's why this is affecting us, and obviously it's affecting our cost of living. Another is, I think, is more of taxes and stuff like that. Like, taxes goes up, and as Annelieke, you mentioned earlier, is that our wages doesn't go up. So if the wages doesn't go up, taxes go up. So we're actually getting things are going out more, and we're getting less in. So it's obviously affecting our life in dramatic ways. And so what other things that, I mean, those two I've mentioned is quite people know more about it. What about other cost of living factors that are coming into play, Fran?
Other things, even house prices, house rent is just going crazy. Too much competition here and there. And even when you talk about your gas and electricity,
Yeah.
you see, even common food that we eat, when you go to the shop to buy one thing, everything is just up.
Everything is just up. So obviously, as you mentioned, the mortgage and rent and everything's gone up. And the food and things like that. What about yourself, Annelieke? What other things that's kind of gone up that's affecting the cost of living, you think?
Yeah, like the thing you mentioned, the cost of fuel and all that. I think if it's affects everything else, I think it even affects the sorry about that, the cost of food and the rest of the things that we're talking about, because obviously the shop, the people doing the deliveries will need more petrol than they were using before, isn't it? Which means the people that own the shop will be buying things more expensive, so obviously they have to put more prices. They have to increase the price on what they are selling to be able to make a profit. Even it affects everything. It just has to affect everything. I don't know why the landlords will have to increase the rent. I don't know why, because the petrol will not be affecting it. But I think, again, everybody tend to play on the cost, because they are having to spend more, maybe for their own heating of their premises, or they're looking for more ways to also make more money to come into their own businesses. So everything will be blamed on the increase in costs. So
I think
sometimes it's people who are just making things up. Well, sometimes it's real.
I think you're right. You know, when the things are, people get into bang, like if things go up, I'm going to increase everything else that they don't really need to. Like in landlords, like, okay, one of the thing about landlords is obviously if the mortgage goes up, interest rates goes up, if they're paying a mortgage on the property, they might add that to the rent. And insurance, building insurance, it could go up. That could be added as well. All those kind of factors. But regarding the food and things that you mentioned, is that obviously the farmers and things like that have to buy fertilizers and all this stuff, because if it's coming from other countries, they're putting tax on it and stuff like that, and coming in and it's affecting growing food. But this is a reason I think it's good to grow your own food, and this is why it's so important. I think I don't see in a negative light. I think it's time to look at, what can we do within our country rather than getting things from abroad. How can you sustain yourself here? If people got, we'll talk about how can you what can you do to reduce the cost of living. But as you mentioned, the food prices, I mean, it's gone up as well. The certain vegetables and fruit, healthy stuff has gone up. That's a great. They seem to put in healthy food goes up. The sugar levels is fine. All the sweets and all the other stuff. But also, I think one thing we mentioned very briefly was our wages. The wages doesn't go up, and then obviously everything goes up, then it affects us. But before I say that, do you know the best people who are making money now are truck drivers, taxi. I spoke to a taxi driver yesterday, and he's making great money. He's making great money. Uber drivers, great money. Food delivery drivers, great money. I'm just letting you know. So there are opportunities in these times. So I'm talking from the people I spoke to, and partly the bus drivers are moving to being a truck drivers because they're realizing they're going to get about 60,000 a year. Do you know what I mean? So even if you think, there's no opportunity, there's always an opportunity in this crisis. Okay, and that's what people see. Now, let's talk about how can people or ourselves can help to reduce the cost of livings. What can we do with in our home, or what we do? Anneliek, I'll go with you.
So yeah, we get it. We cannot change the government easily. Well, we can try. We can protest and talk about it and make noise, but we know it will take a lot more people waking up and joining to fight for the government to do anything about reducing the taxes and all that. But there is something we can do in our own self, so we can control what we can control, which is what can we do as our own self in our own families. So we'll talk about that. And number one for me, I just brought the phone so I'll be able to share on Facebook when we start. But next time I'll probably not bother. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Number one for me would definitely be take stock of your income and expenses. Obviously, you would notice that your outgoing seem to be going higher, while the income, which is the salary or whatever, seems to be less. It's not meeting up to the expenses. So first thing I will say, you can look at how to make more income as well. So like you said, so many people are switching jobs, like becoming, bus drivers, maybe it's 30,000 per annum, and they're leaving it to go and become truck drivers. That's double their salary. So look for ways to increase that and make, investments here and there, creates cash flow. And then we'll look into our bills, how we can reduce reduce the bills, like telephone bills. Is a lot of times we talk about switching. I've had to switch in the past, very often, but now we're talking about haggling. Instead of switching, just ask them, tell them you want to leave, and see if they're going to beg you to stay and give you, good deal, better deal. So we've had to do that a few times as well. So they can give you better deal, cut down, instead of paying £40 a month, they can give you something that is less, £20, and still has all the package that you had before, or even better, because they don't want you to leave. A lot of time they offer it to their new people coming in. They use it as promotion, and they will say it's only for the new people. And I'm like, you have people like that are loyal, you don't want to take care of them. So now a lot of people have learned about haggling. So call them, threaten them, say you're gonna leave and get a better deal.
Well, that's what definitely one way. I mean, it's not just the telephone, but internet, gas, electricity, everything else out there, insurance, car insurance, and so many other things that you can, because the companies want to keep you, and so they, as you mentioned, haggle is one way you could do that, and they always say, I'll talk to my manager, I'll come back to you, but actually they don't go to the manager. They know what they have to do. They come back and say, okay, I'll give you that deal. I'm just wondering, because I've done it's not, it's so many ways, it's so scripted, it's unbelievable. You kind of get used to it when you hear the same thing they say. Doesn't matter where you're phoning. Also your banking stuff, if banking charging things, you charge it, charges and all that, best to move to a bank that doesn't charge you, overdrafts and things like that. What about yourself, Fran? What other ways can we reduce our cost of living? What can we do?
Yeah, we can look at our budget and see if there is anything to do. Maybe some things that you think they're not all that necessary, you can cut down on them. Just like for example, your bills, about maybe your telephone, especially the landline. Sometimes you discover that you don't even use the package, depending on people anyway. But if you look at those packages that you don't really need, you don't need to take them. Just cancel them and reduce the cost. Maybe you have television with a football, with this children, this one, children, the other one. All those add-ons, you check. If you don't really need them, you have to cancel on them. They are not important if you don't need them. And for example, everybody have got their mobile phone going. I wonder how many people that still sit down and answer the landline. So that's what you need to look at. Then, even your food, you check, because sometimes we just go to the shop and we make lists, but we abandon the list and we continue shopping and shopping. And as far as you have your card in your purse, so we should look at that. And another thing is that sometimes you go to the shop, buy one get one free. Oh, because it's buy one get one free, you keep on buying. You can't even check, do I really need these things? If you don't really need it, just keep it. Yeah, if you find the grace to do this, that would be better. That's the way we are going to be cutting this thing. Yeah, so we can do what we can do on our own. Then while we look up to the government, what they also do. But yeah, we start small. Then talking about the fuel. If you have a car, the places you can just walk down, you can just park your car and do that. And you have to compare using the public transport and driving your car, which one is more cost effective. So you have to do all those things to be able to also cut down your expenses day in and day out. So that's what we can do to help ourselves.
You're right. Looking at, like mentioned about car fuel, I'm looking at the cost, and if you could walk, if especially it's a nice day, you'd say it's not that far, get a bit of exercise, and car share. If you got colleagues that are going in the same direction, going to work, car share with them, and share the fuel. So that's one way that you can kind of save on kind of fuel and the car side of it, especially in summer and things. We should maybe go out more and do a bit more walking. It gives us a kind of motivation to do that side of it. And regarding the food you mentioned about food, obviously said just what you said about writing a list and sticking with the list rather than thinking, no, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that, and add it, and then buy one, buy three and get price of two, whatever, discount, all that. We are very drawn. This is a marketing that they use for. After I was saying, obviously mentioned about the fruit and veg that goes high in price, and we go towards eating unhealthy food, especially cost of living goes up. Then we all, some people tend to move towards unhealthy food because the food and vegetables are had to, and like utility bills and things like that. Look at what rooms that lights are on, switch off the lights that you don't use, switch off the TV. Partly if you put in standby, it's costing you money, the TV. So switch off at the mains. That'll kind of save electricity. Change the bulbs. Some bulbs take more electricity than more use. Shower-wise, if you're having a regular shower, don't, some people want to stay half an hour in the shower, cut down in the shower time. They'll cut down on electricity or gas that's been used. And then if you want to use radiators, put it low down to a very low, to certain rooms that you don't need to use up so much heat. So cut down on the fuel side of it, stuff like that. So that's some of the things I think. And also Annalika mentioned about comparing prices, just find out what's the best deal. If you've got car insurance, house insurance, find the basics. Like there's so many websites that they make a comparison. Use the website to make comparison. So the thing is, most of us are used to sticking with one company. We don't bother looking around for any, but this is the time to do, is to look around for a better deal. If you haven't moved for years, start thinking about moving and getting a better deal, because we will find better deals out there, and stuff like that. And shopping and things like that, some places like Aldi's and all that, they're really busy because they seem to be a bit cheaper. I mean, I go and shop in Aldi rather than Tesco's. I find vegetables and fruit are cheaper, and I think it's much better. Personally, I seem to go towards that more. So, and you find that what you shop in Aldi sometimes is so cheap, but if you go to Tesco's, you're getting like half of it. So I don't know if people have noticed that as well. And if you're getting any thing about Tesco's is when you've got this what do you call it, when you scan for points and things, you get £1, in case maybe a few months later, 2 months, you might get £2-3 off, whatever. That's if you keep shopping and scanning and stuff like that. So those are the things you can do. I mean, that's at the top of my head. I'm saying this is maybe what you can do. So any thoughts on that, Annalika, what I was saying?
Yeah, like what you were saying, switching things on standby mode. We're used to leaving things on standby, but switching them off actually save us money. Cycle, you can get a bicycle, or electric car. If you're thinking of changing your car, maybe it's time. I've seen a lot of electric cars on the road. I'm thinking maybe people are switching more because of the increasing in fuel.
That's what they want.
I know. To sell more electric.
They want, but it's more electrical expensive, and secondly, it's not tested and tried that well enough to.
Well, I met a couple charging their electric car where I was parking, and I asked them if it was worth it. Like, have they noticed they've saved? They say, oh, yeah. It still costs them to charge the car, but definitely they've saved. They are saving on, they are spending less on how much they would have put in fuel. So I said, okay, that's encouraging, because then, because like you're saying, there's not been long-term comparison, but they've had it for a while, and they said definitely they save at least £30 on every month on how much they would have spent on their petrol. So I think, yeah, with increasing costs, electric cars may work better. And yeah, I think you said most of it.
Yeah, I think I was going back to the cars. The cars that coming with water is coming out. That's yeah.
That would be nice. That would be
that's
better than charging.
that
Or
that
they'll start selling water expensive now.
no that's behind the scenes that's happening. I think I prefer to go with the water than electric, because I sometimes want this kind of slightly going off track. They've got, as you're going down to London, they might have 1 or 2 points, but you have to charge it and wait to be charged. Do you know what I mean? If you're going somewhere, how long do you wait to get charged? And then the place you wait will make more money because you're waiting longer, you're spending food and stuff. There's a lot of things coming up in play, but anyway. But let's go back to the other factors. What about you, Fran? About what can we do? Any other things that we could do to, help us to reduce the cost of living that we can do at home or outside or in our lives?
Yeah, like what you say about the bulb. That bulb, the energy bulb, is the one that saves you some money from using it. So yeah, you can consider switching to that. And do you know that boiling your kettle, because I know many of us, we try to boil our kettle, maybe because we want tea, coffee, or some other things we want to do with hot water. But do you know that boiling your kettle consumes more energy than even your cooking at your gas cooker? Yeah, because it's important that you boil the quantity of water you're needing. Because I know people do boil, like you fill up your kettle and you boil it and you keep it and it will just cook for nothing. Then next time if we try to boil the quantity we need, that will also help in reducing our cost of living. Again, like what you said before, running the bath consumes more than the shower. So we should all watch those things. And
yeah, so as you mentioned, we could all kind of do those things, and we all can do that at home. It doesn't take time or anything. We just need to be aware of doing those things, switching it off, and off certain things. And I must admit, I'm guilty of that sometimes. I look at it and I have my light on, and I'm not in that room. So and things like that. So we need to do more of that, I think, just to become more aware to save a bit of money here and there. The cost of living's going up. Obviously the food, just be aware, and be aware what essential stuff are we really paying for. Things that some people pay for gym and never go to the gym. That's a good one. That I heard so many people, I paid for one year, I haven't been, paying it every month, but why didn't you cancel it? If you're not going to the gym, I thought, why didn't you cancel it? But they don't cancel it. So all those expenses, it's unnecessary expenses that's cost. I mean, I use my gym membership, so I do pay for it. But, think about, I think, the activities that you do or you're paying for that you never use, and just canceling subscriptions that you may be paying for monthly. We forgot about maybe canceling those ones as well. And stuff like that will help to reduce the costs of, just to balance, try to help us a bit on that side of it. But yeah, those, I mean, I mean, what we went over is just some of the stuff that you could do. Just so many other things that we can, if people are watching, maybe think about what they could do to help to get extra money coming in. And Anika also mentioned about getting an extra job, work. Maybe if you got to work and you want extra money, maybe look at other businesses or things that you could work from home. And we ladies here have different businesses, and we work from home, and we do health business and various other businesses. And if you want to know more, please, get in touch with us, and we will go with that, how you could do that. So we could talk about that as well. So, but yeah, ladies, this is 30 minutes up. I'll just let you know, we're here only for 30 minutes. So, Anelika, a few seconds I've got, and I'll go to Fran. Anything else you want to kind of quickly put in there?
Well, you mentioned Tesco, not to promote them, but I would say their quote, every little helps. So switch off the lights, try and change to energy saving appliances, but most importantly, make more money.
Exactly, make more money. And so, Fran, what yourself? Anything you want to say quickly?
Make more money while you sleep. But I just want to say, for some people, maybe they have unlimited data in their phone and it costs more as well. So if you just check the quantity of data, the amount of data you use, if you don't need it, cut it down. You can actually interchange with your home broadband and just have a little for going out. So that's all the little things we have to do. And again, no wastage.
Yeah, thank you, ladies. Thank you. Yes, as we all said, just become more aware, make small changes will help a lot. And obviously, earning a bit extra money is a great way to add it to your own wages. And you could work from home, and your other, if you're full time, you could do a bit extra income from other sources. So if you want to know more, we are here to help you. And we can guide you, what's available out there as well regarding working from home and things like that. So thank you, ladies, for coming on, and we will be back next. Week. It won't be Monday, but we'll possibly be back in the Thursday or something. We will kind of let you. So Thursday would be the best. Ladies, just quickly, are we back on Thursday? Are we back on Thursday? Yes.
What date is Thursday?
We will be back next week anyway. We will be going live, but it will not be Monday. And but we will be back after Monday, and just that 1 week to be changed. But thank you for everybody watching. Thank you, and please share it with your family and friends. And I hope this. I'm sure this will help. Our show is all about helping people. That's our aim. And just to make your life a bit better. So thank you, ladies. I will see you next week, and take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.